Hi,
FRC
fam!
It's Jai!
And Rap.
Yes, and it's very exciting kasi we have a special guest with us today, FRC fam. So let's all welcome Father Omer Prieto from St. Paul Parish, Diocese of Cavao. Hi, Father!
Hello, thank you,
Welcome!
Jai. Thank you,
Welcome,
Rob.
Father.
Palakpak naman dyan.
Yes! Palakpak daw. So, welcome, Father, to our home here in FRC. So, hindi na namin papatagalin, Father. Actually, this episode is really meant to shed more light into Marian devotion through the eyes of a Marian Priest.
Wow.
Which I believe, ako naririnig ko, Father, you're very popular daw among those who are looking for a Marian Priest. So, I believe it's some sort of your expertise. And so, we're interested to know about your story, your insights. So, baka pwede natin simulan with getting to know you about how you got into priesthood.
Well, siguro, for the priesthood, it was more of a childhood fantasy. Yeah, ever since, I really wanted to be a priest. Because I started as altar boy. Diba? So, after that, parang wala na akong ibang alam gawin kundi magpare.
Father,
Yes,
ever
yes.
since. So,
Ever
parang
since.
tipong nung sa school, pag tinatanong, ano gusto mo maging
Pare.
paglaki?
Although I don't know what priesthood is, no? Basta
Yung
fantasy
first
lang, fantasy lang. That's why I remember after my elementary, I asked my father to bring me to the seminary. He did. Yeah, so I took my
Very young
college.
age.
I took my high school in the seminary. So that's what, 12 years. Yeah. Parang it all started that way. Although I had a very big challenge because I was also asking myself whether the priesthood is really my
for you.
my dream, or is it really a calling? You know, and I was caught between gusto ko ba talaga o gusto ko lang o talagang tawag ng Diyos. No? Okay. And I think I have to tell this story, no? I have
Sige, go ahead, Father. We'd love to hear.
I have to challenge myself na if it is really the will of God. I don't know how to test myself. No? So in San Carlos, even you are already an intern from college, you still have to take entrance in theology.
Okay.
So you will be treated like an ordinary student. No? So ginawa ko doon, it was very naughty, no? Kasi parang when I answered the test, no? I didn't look at the questions. No?
What?
Naglagay lang ako ng mga shade na gano'n. Sabi ko, Lord, kung papasa ako, that's your will.
Pinagpasa Diyos talaga.
Talaga, I didn't look at the questions, ano. It's more of shading, shading lang. Can you imagine I passed?
Wow.
I said, my God, God really wanted me to be a priest. No? Because at the time, my father really don't want me to be a priest. Hindi ko alam na meron pala silang ibang dream para sa akin. So they thought that I will, because they advised me to take the course in the university after high school. So that when I found myself entering San Carlos without any interruption, sabi ko, wow, is it really my stubbornness or the will of God? So that's why I made that naughty thing.
Grabe, sobrang meant to be.
Pag tines mo talaga si Lord,
Kaya sabi ko,
sasagutin ka niya.
when I entered theology, sabi ko, this is it. Talagang, it's really a calling.
But is there some sort of a personal encounter of God there in that calling?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Like, how was that revealed to you, Father? Kasi di ba parang, tama yung sinabi niya na iba yung dreams minsan, parang gusto natin, okay, ito yung fantasy natin. Ito yung gusto natin maging paglaki. And we have to decipher, like, is it also a calling? Like, tawag ng Panginoon. Sinabi niyo, like, sinagot naman ni Lord yung challenge yun na pinasa kayo sa test.
Yes.
But, is there a personal encounter somewhere there na may na-revealed si Lord talaga sa inyo na?
I think my passing the exam without even thinking about it was a big sign.
Okay.
I took it really very seriously. Now, this is it. This is really not my will, but it is His will. Now, that's for me the sign. At the time, of course, I was not in good terms with my father.
Okay.
Yun yung
So, may
challenge.
ganun.
So my mother, I remember my mother was telling me, but before you get ordained, you have to talk to your father. You have to ask his blessing. So, well, you know, talking to him was really very difficult. because we have not been talking for a long time. He just wanted me to go out and take another course, not the priesthood.
Anything
Basta
else?
hindi
Anything
Not,
else.
not,
Basta hindi
not
sa seminary.
Not the priesthood.
Were you an only child, Father?
No, we were three
Ah.
boys. We were three boys. I'm the youngest, no?
Mm.
And I think it's something that also with, my father was very close to the priest, and then suddenly they parted ways, no? Until my father doesn't go to church anymore. So there was a crisis
So may
also in
ano.
him. But I remember, I only told my father one thing, no? I told him it all started with you. Because he was the one who brought me to the church. No? When I was still active in the church, and he brought us at all. We are three boys, no? He brought us to serve as altar boys. No? So I said, you were the ones who started this.
Sa inyo po ito nanggaling.
Yes, you.
And I remember my father just embraced me.
Mm-mm.
Sabi ko, ito na yan. Payag na rin siya magpa-ordain.
Pero Father, ito, narinig ko, sikat ka daw na Marian Priest. Favorite ka.
No,
So,
no, no.
how did that come about? Like, you becoming a
Okay.
Marian Priest?
I'll share. It came very late. I started getting involved with this Marian group, no? Marian movement in 1997.
Sorry, Father, how many years are you a priest?
Wow, 42 years.
So, nung 97, ayun ako sa
97,
ilang years ka na?
97, I must be around 25
25 years as a
years
priest.
of priest.
Okay, when you got involved sa...
So it came very late. You know, there was this, you have heard about this Marian movement of priests. Right? It was introduced to the Philippines, and they had several retreats for priests. So I attended one of those retreats, no? And honestly, that was something I didn't really understand. I didn't understand anything. I was just asked to attend because, I think I was set up by this this couple, no? Imagine they told me, Father, you cannot say no anymore because we talked to the parish office. You have no schedule for that.
They gave you no choice.
Yung pala talagang, kinausap nila ako na don't give Father these days, no, of any assignment. Anyway, I was forced to attend it. And, I didn't really remember what were discussed. And my mind was not in the retreat at all. But something happened, after the retreat, I'm so thankful for the lay people who attended to us. Because these are the lay people who were attending to our retreat. And I asked this, one of the volunteers, sabi ko, what do you expect us to do? Our retreat is about to end, and I would like to appreciate their efforts. Sabi nung volunteer, Father, walang obligasyon dito. You just go home after the retreat. And but he returned to me, and he was carrying this book. They call it Blue Book, no? And he said, Father, we give you this book, no? Yeah, in your kit, no? So they gave us this envelope, no? You have this book. You will find at the back, at the end of the book, no, a prayer for consecration for priests, no? And he said, well, if you have nothing to do in your convent, kindly read this. Although I felt offended, kasi my God, sabi ko, parang tingin sa akin, parang ang tamad-tamad ko.
Wala daw.
Walang gagawin.
Okay. But you know what? When I arrived in my house, no, that's the first thing that I did. I opened the book. Without any, very spontaneous, no?
Baka wala kayong gagawin nun, Father.
So I started, meron ng prayer ng consecration for priests, no? Now I realized what this consecration is. It's really basically entrusting yourself to the care of our Blessed Mother. Of course, that Marian thing is, I think, also a misnomer. Kasi baka kala nila, meron talagang certain priest called Marian, no?
Actually, I was gonna ask nga, Father,
Yeah.
parang I think we're not alone ni Chai in
Yes.
not knowing so much about when you say, ano
Marian.
sabihin ng Marian Priest? Like, is it some
Parang
sort of,
dating mabait ka, Marian Priest.
yun pala yung
Pag nagpe-pray ka, but when I learned to, to see who the priest is, for the Blessed Mother, actually, all priests should be Marian.
Mhm.
You know why? Because, you remember the last act that Jesus did before he died was to entrust Saint John to the Blessed Mother.
Mhm.
And John here is not representing everybody. That's what our common understanding, no? We said, "Woman, behold your son, and behold your mother." Okay, and we always interpret it as John is representing the humanity. I don't believe so, because if Jesus means the whole humanity, Jesus could have said to his mother, "Woman, behold your children; they're all here, good and bad."
Mm.
Okay, but why singled out the disciple? I think he was there entrusting the priest to the care of our Blessed Mother. John there was a priest, and he was entrusting the priesthood because it will be the priests who will carry out the work of Calvary. Okay. No other person was entrusted that kind of work, the priesthood, except the priests. Remember, no? Remember that Jesus instituted the priesthood at the Last Supper.
Mhm.
It was only the institution,
Mm.
but the actualization of the priesthood took place the following day, Good Friday. So it was in the act of doing the priesthood that Jesus entrusted the priest to the Blessed Mother. So this is where I realized all priests should really be Marian priests. Should be Marian.
Actually, may gusto akong balikan eh. Like, a while ago, Father, you mentioned the Blue Book
Yes, yes.
with the prayer, with the consecration
Yeah.
prayer that you have,
Mm-mm.
which led you to your devotion.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, we have it here.
Ay,
Wow,
okay, Father.
grabe.
Yeah.
It's very
Thank
much
you, Father.
blue.
Thank you,
Very
Father.
blue.
Yes.
Very blue.
Thank you, Father.
Maraming
Yeah,
kamay,
yeah.
malaki siya.
Oh, medyo malaki siya. FRC Pam.
Yes, yes.
And so I was interested to ask also, kasi you talked about...
I'll see you
Sige, go ahead,
I'll see you
Father.
the prayer that I was asked to pray. This is very interesting. By the way, there's also a prayer for lay people like you. So this is for the priest. No?
Mhm.
Okay. It's also for lay, more or less it's the
Okay.
same formulation, same wordings, no? And we also prayer for the youth, for the children. Anyway, so these are all messages that our Blessed Mother gave to a priest,
Mm-mm.
Father Gobi, no? And he received these messages for the past 25 years.
So the context is, it's like, ano yung point of view ng buong book, Father? Parang
Okay. Actually, that book,
Mary speaking to
yeah,
the people.
Mary speaking to the people. No? What actually she's talking here about is what she said at Fatima, and the way those messages that she gave at Fatima is happening in our time. This is what she's saying here. No? Maybe in 1917, when the children were told about this, oh, this is just a hallucination or what. No? But really, Maria, how many years passed, no? And what was said is happening right now.
Mhm.
So what Our Lady is saying is what is now happening in this world is what we're told at Fatima. Then you're seeing it now. So this book is actually an echo of what she told at Fatima, but it becomes even more explicit because it is happening in our time. You cannot just be in a denial mode, no?
Yeah.
Na, oh, that's not true. It's really happening now. And this is how you see also how God continues to speak to the world, no? Using medium like our Blessed Mother.
Yeah.
So what she said in different places, no, is actually, these are just echoes, no, of what God will what the world to hear, no? But this time, she is sending the Mother
Mhm.
to speak to us.
Pero Father, how do you define a Marian priest? Kasi like you're referring to every priest nga should
Yeah.
be. So how do you define that? No?
For me, all priests for that matter, no? All priests should be aware that in his priesthood, there's always a mother behind him. Because Jesus entrusted that priesthood to his mother. So any priest, for that matter, should realize he should be accustomed to live his life of the priesthood with this mother. That is what I realized in this when I started praying the consecration.
Mhm.
Because what Jesus did at the cross was actually entrusting, entrusting the priest, Saint John, to the care of our Blessed Mother. And you remember, among the 12 apostles, among the 12, they are all priests. Among the 12, only John was able to go up Calvary. When they all scattered, John went to the house of Mary. And you will find that, I remember that in this movie of the Passion of the Christ.
Mhm.
There was a scene there that after the arrest. So there was a sudden change of scene. There was a big sound, somebody entering the room, and it was John. He was really rushing to get inside the house, and then there was Mary. And John said, they had just arrested him. And Mary said, well, it has just begun. He was faced very serious.
Mhm.
From that time on, you will see in the movie, John was in the company of Mary, following Jesus up to Calvary. So I believe that if priesthood is victimhood, so each priest has his own Calvary to reach. And for priest to reach that Calvary, you must always have this mother. You cannot be away from this.
So tama ba intindi ko, Father? When you say Marian Priest, it's not like may dadaanan kang any sort of formation
Wala.
or
It's-
courses,
no,
or
no,
I don't know, like,
It's more of
It's not-
internal.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not
maybe you
like some
maybe
sort
you
of congregation.
yeah. Maybe
religious
you're talking
na-
about there are priests who are really who study Mariology. These are
specifically,
Mariologists.
yes.
So that's why some priests, some people thought I'm a Mariologist.
So it's not necessarily the same.
No.
Wow.
Mariology is a
Mariologist.
course, no?
Yeah.
It's a specialization in theology, no? But, well, you don't have to be a Mariologist to be a Marian priest. No?
So wala, Father, to clear it out to our FRC fam, walang process. Na
Wala,
parang
wala,
you have
wala,
to
wala.
you have to undergo certain steps para
No.
maging Marian
It's just living
priest.
your priesthood in relation to our Blessed Mother.
So you can refer to yourself as a Marian priest. Parang any priest could, as long as they have that
Yes.
internal.
It's
Okay.
a personal and interior act that you have to make.
It's a website called Marian.org. I wonder lang if it's something official
Which one?
also in light of the Catholic Church, or yun nga, parang kunyari kayo rin ba, Father, when you mag-enlist ka ba na Marian
Marian
Priest
priest
ako?
No.
Tapos, or may
There's
mga
no such
kakilala rin ba
thing.
kayong Marian
No.
Priest? So it's not really
yeah.
like that.
There's no list actually.
Okay.
It's how you live your priesthood with our Blessed Mother. In fact, for example, we have this organization, Marian Movement of Priests. No, it has been all over the world. No, but we do not really have the list how many members we have.
So it's a movement.
It's a
kasi
movement.
You're promoting
Exactly. No.
something.
So what is important here is the priest should live his consecration to the Blessed Mother. And there's no formality there. No? It's a personal interior act that you have to make, and you have simply to live it every day.
Ay, very vivid sa akin yung image rin na pinakita niyo sa amin, Father, on yung the Apostle John with Mary in front of Jesus at the cross. Like, it made a lot of
I like that
sense.
image.
It really illustrated like what you were talking about, having the importance of like the mother with us.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And I think it's also nice to hear that kasi we're, of course, part of FRC, no? Family Rosary Crusade. We give high value in family.
Yes.
So having that, calling mother being behind everything, and then that internal. Parang it's just like, there's parang may touch of family dun sa
Yes.
relationship that we're
Correct.
instilling
Yes.
with Mother Mary. So it's very enlightening. And to our FRC fam out there, Father, no, I'm pretty sure natututunan nila ngayon na, may Mariology,
Tama.
Mariologist. And then, yun nga, you can be a Marian priest,
Yes.
diba? And the image that you provided, parang, Ngayon parang ako nasa theology.
Ah.
Nasa theo
Class.
class ako right now na may mga symbols. So,
Yes.
it's very interesting, Father, na iba yung perspective that you're providing
Yes.
to us as a Marian priest. So,
I hope it helps.
yes,
Yes,
Father,
yes,
for
yes,
sure.
yes.
So, ngayon, since you're calling yourself nga as a Marian priest, gusto namin i-test.
Grabe yung test.
Skills, Father.
Wow!
Kakasabi lang ni Father na wala kang test,
Walang
wala
test.
kang requirements.
Kung walang requirements, Father, dito meron tayong
Wow,
test.
sige,
Eh, but this is really just for fun.
Oo.
But and also just to add some more knowledge in terms of Marian devotion
Yes.
to our
Sige,
viewers
sige,
here.
sige.
So we'll try this out. So kung kagaya namin ni Chai na na-peak ang interest nyo on Marian devotion
Wow.
or
Yes.
Marian priests, let's try this
Wow,
game
sige.
out.
FRC fam, if you know this, comment down
Ayan, may
below.
pa-props na
Down below,
tayo.
yes. Wow.
Okay.
Ayan. So, Father, what we will be doing is that we will show you some images
Mm.
of different images of Mary.
Mm.
Kasi there's also different Mary. So,
Mm,
identify them
yes.
para we'll see kung gaano ka,
Wow.
ano yung knowledge mo.
So, syempre, you can say a bit also if you have some knowledge on
Like
those
quick
images.
description, mga trivia.
Sure, sure.
Jiba, Father.
Okay,
Ayan.
game na tayo,
Okay,
Father.
game,
Game,
game.
game.
Okay, this is our first image.
Of course. Are they the Guadalupe?
Our Lady of
Wow.
Guadalupe.
Is it the right answer?
The answer is
Right!
correct. Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yes,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Next one.
That's, that's the, okay, that's the Assumption. Right?
Ang sabi dito sa clues,
Oh.
dogma of the church. Ba?
Immaculate, the
Ah.
Assumption and Immaculate Conception are two dogmas of the church.
Okay. So is
It looks like,
is the image the same, Father? For
yeah, but
Immaculate and
the
Assumption?
Immaculate Conception is more like that, but he's always pictured like crushing the serpent.
Okay.
Yes, but this one has none. No, this is more of with angels. So parang it looks like the Assumption. But they are very related. You know, they are very related. The Immaculate Conception and the Assumption are two Marian dogmas.
Actually, yun yung medyo nalilito nga kapag Feast of the Assumption sa the
Assumption,
Immaculate.
magkamukha yun, magkamukha yun. It's just like,
That's how we differentiate.
you notice, no? When Our Lady appears at Lourdes, actually, Our Lady of Lourdes is the Immaculate Conception. Because Our Lady introduced to Saint Bernadette, sabi niya kung sino siya, I am the Immaculate Conception. But it has a different image naman, di ba? But yun din, parang the Immaculate Conception should always be a woman who will be stepping on the
serpents.
Yes,
Next.
next.
That's,
I think actually na-mention
Our Lady of Lourdes.
na-mention ni Father kanina.
Our Lady of Lourdes, yeah. Kasi may sash. May sash.
So
Because
that's
of
how
the
you
sash.
identify.
Yes.
Okay.
This is
So, hindi
Manu.
siya-
This is
hindi-
Manu. From Belgium.
Ano to yun?
Our Lady Banu.
Oo nga, may label
Wait,
naman siya.
nandun sa...
Teka,
Yeah.
okay tayo. Nasa listahan ba
Oo.
yun? Sige, next,
Okay.
next.
That's the Immaculate Heart of Mary.
Very good, Father. So
Yeah.
far, so good.
So far, so good.
Mas marami nga natuturo si Father sa atin dahil yung tinetest natin siya.
Yeah,
eh.
that's Our Lady of Fatima.
Yes, Our Lady of Fatima. Okay, next.
Parang common din yung image ni Our
Yes.
Lady of Fatima.
Although there are different renditions also.
Siya yung nasa movie, diba?
Yes.
Yung nag-appear dun sa Faded.
Yes,
Oh,
yes. The three shepherd kids.
To my CL
Yes.
teacher, shout
Shout
out.
out daw.
You made a mark.
Yes.
Okay. Where siya nandun?
Oh, that's actually it looks like the Our Lady of Peace in Medjugorje.
Wow.
Ay.
Galing niyo,
Galing
Father.
mo, Father.
Grabe.
Naman, paano mo
Really?
na memories yun?
Yeah, Our Lady of Peace, no?
Okay, next.
Miraculous Medal.
Ooh.
Because the medal.
Oo nga naman.
Parang giveaway.
Yes, giveaway.
Natatandaan ko dati nung grade school, high school ako sa Ateneo. Yun ba yun, Father?
Yes.
Yung may October medal.
Ah,
O iba pa yun?
Yes,
It's
yes.
the one you put here?
Yes,
Oo,
yes,
my
may
gosh.
blue ribbon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now it all makes
Yeah.
sense.
Ito quite popular, I think.
Yeah.
Especially among Filipinos. Next
Yes,
image.
okay.
Next.
Oh, Mount Father.
So, yun yung uso na may scapular po.
Yes. Galing naman. Perpetual heart.
Paano nyo
Because, well,
You may-
because perpetual help is an icon, no? It's not an statue, it's an icon, it's a painting, no?
okay.
And it's very similar to for example, the Theotokos in Russia, no? Would you believe that in Russia, each household has an icon of the Theotokos, mother and child. That's how Marian the Russians are. Can you imagine?
Wow.
That's La Salette, I think.
Sila.
La Salette.
Wala, hindi ko sure kung same yung ano.
Because
Ang
because
clue
of
na
the-
nakasabi dito, Virgin of the
The
Golden
Golden
Heart.
Okay.
And then, famous quotes from here is yung pray, pray, pray.
It was take also the
Is it
La
the
Salette,
same ba?
because of the crown. It's okay.
Okay. Is it the same as the Lady of Gara?
No.
Ah,
Our Lady of
Borang.
Boring.
Boring. It's in Germany. Belgium, same as this one. Okay. Belgium, yes.
Okay, next.
Next.
No
This one
idea.
appeared with Saint Joseph and Saint John in 1879.
Wow. Where? 79.
Where? Wala sa clues yung where. Hindi rin namin alam.
I don't know that.
What in?
Yeah.
Hindi natin nakukuha yung
In the
clues ng production.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Tama.
Ireland
Father
of
Faisal is
Knox.
Ireland.
Ireland of Knox.
No.
Knox. Ireland of Knox. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. I haven't been there. I'd like to see that place.
The Lady of Knock.
Knox.
Do you pray?
Knock.
Not?
Yeah, Knox.
Knock.
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 Okay.
So, wait lang, Father. Quick question. Break. Wow.
Mm.
Parang, do you pray to certain Marys for certain things?
You?
Like, would you pray to like a certain... For
No,
certain-
I don't think so. You always direct this, irrespective of the titles, no? You always direct it to the Blessed Mother as one person.
So walang...
Yeah.
Walang ano.
Pero since actually
well,
na-bring up na rin siya yung question ko, Father, is what's the importance of different images?
Images.
And bakit nagkakaroon ng
Okay.
different images
Well,
ni Mary?
it's like this, no? It's like if our Blessed Mother is a beauty queen.
Okay.
He owns all the awards all over the world. Miss International, Miss
Ah,
World,
Okay.
Miss Environment, Miss Ecology.
Oh.
Very illustrative.
Yes.
Example.
That means that the whole world recognize our Blessed Mother in different ways. No? So, for example, he is named in the place where she appeared. Okay, so, Our Lady of Lourdes. Okay, so Our Lady of Guadalupe. These are also places. No? Or she is also recognized with titles to depict her attributes, like Immaculate Conception,
Queen of Peace.
Yeah, Queen of Peace. No? So these are ways of honoring our Blessed Mother. It doesn't make one higher than the other.
Yes.
For example, people will compete. Which one is powerful, Baclaran or
Which image?
Ladabal? No, something like that. No?
Walang
These are just titles, actually.
Okay. Maganda
So,
yung ano mo, Father,
These are titles, no?
na Miss Universe.
Miss
Pero
Yeah.
hindi siya competition.
Oo, hindi
Yes,
siya
competition.
competition.
Basically, may nanalo na kasi lahat yun si Mary.
May nanalo na.
Parang it's all giving tribute to our Blessed Mother. And there is one issue of this National Geographic. This is very interesting because it's a scientific magazine, no? And their mother their cover is about Mary, and they made a research, no, and interviewing all even non-Catholics about Mary, no? And what they did was very interesting. They researched all over the world different apparitions of our Blessed Mother. And they made a distinction between the approved and those who are still under study, and those are approved by the local. For example, it's only approved in the Philippines or in Korea, in local churches. No? Very interesting because they showed in that article, no, how our Blessed Mother is manifesting throughout the world.
Mhm.
So they were saying that she must be a very powerful woman for her to manifest, no, herself in different places and different times.
Interesting. Okay,
Any
next.
other? Let me see.
Ito,
Okay.
very close to us.
What's that?
Quite literally.
Already ba the barangay? No.
Ano ba yun?
Hindi,
Hindi
tama,
po.
tama, tama.
What's that?
Virgin of the Poor.
Virgin of the Poor.
1990.
This one.
Oh,
Yes, opo. Quite
hello
literally.
there.
Yeah. But Virgin of the Poor usually is all white.
Ayan.
Ah,
It has-
Sabi sa iyo tayo, mali,
Oh.
nagka-test
It's
tayo.
all white. It's
Right.
all white. No? And they say that this statue always goes with a body of water. I don't know why. No? It's either you have to a pool or a
Parang healing
Yeah.
spring nga.
Yeah,
yun.
parang
Fountain,
ganon,
Ayan.
ganon, no?
Okay.
Next.
Next.
This is Our Lady of Czestochowa.
Wow.
In-
Częstochowa.
Kaya niyo i-pronounce? Oh, FRC
Częstochowa.
fans,
That's
kaya
in
niyo?
Poland, no? Poland. The famous, this is a famous icon also like our Baklanan icon. Yeah. Very similar, no?
Interesting nga, yung sabi is, it's allegedly painted by Saint Luke. Tama ba yun?
Yes. No, but it's the one painted by Saint Luke was the one in Rome.
So it's the Lady of Częstochowa. Częstochowa. It's also an icon. Tama ba?
Yes, an icon. Yeah.
I think the
They say
more
that
distinct...
icon is a representation of the icon that they have in Russia.
the
So you know,
Modern child.
yeah. So you have this painting, so there are the other artists who do some similar
variations
painting. Yeah.
inspired by it.
Called na siya as Black Madonna Father.
Yes. Black Madonna, yeah.
Black Madonna. And then it has the interesting, distinct, parang may scar.
But
On the
because it was
face.
burned. It was burned.
Ah.
Actually, it was destroyed. No? They tried to destroy it, no? And miraculously, they were able to restore it. Kaya meron konting may scars.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
next.
Sige.
They,
We can,
the
talk about
good thing
the-
in Poland is this, no? Unlike us, with we have many images, no? We have Lourdes, we have Fatima,
Yeah.
we have Perpetual Life, no? In Poland, they have only one icon. That's the
Which
one.
is
All throughout Poland. So everybody only has that. It's beautiful.
an image with so much drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very iconic. Tsaka yung story behind
Ganda,
it.
sobra,
Yeah.
sobra, yes.
Even the painting itself, itsura. It's so distinct.
Yes.
Parang how it looks. Okay, next image.
Our Lady of, that's in Spain. Yes.
Barcelona.
They had that in San Beda. Montserrat. Our Lady of
Montserrat,
Montserrat,
yes.
yeah.
Famously visited by Saint
This one is a sculpture. Sculpture, yeah. Sculpture black.
Black Madonna.
Black Madonna
also
pa rin.
Yes.
coined as Black Madonna. And last.
Last.
What's this?
So, ang famous dito, its devotion is represented by white scapular.
Why scapular?
May variation
May
pala
clues
yung
ka, Father,
scapular.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
May clue si Father.
Wala akong clue.
So
What's
it appeared ba? Is this an apparition? In 1467 in Italy,
Italy.
where a cloud descended on an unfinished wall of a church. And then, nag-reveal na yung image ni Mary doon sa wall na yun.
What were these two scenes?
Naku, na tayo na yung quiz.
No idea.
Padre Pietro.
Our Lady of... No, I don't have this image.
This
Our
is
Lady of...
Good counsel.
Good
Ah,
Counsel.
okay. Yeah. Good.
Okay lang, Father.
Good counsel.
-2.
Wala
Not
tayong
to
grade.
track. I mean,
-2. Okay.
Daming images across the world. I feel
There's
like
so many.
alaming overlaps.
So many religious.
Similar to like, kunyari Black Madonna pala.
Oo,
Ang
dalawa
daming
rin yung
similar.
Black.
You know, even in India, Father, they say there's so many Marian. Of course, they are not. Vatican cannot just attend to all these things. But these are very powerful experience of people.
Yeah. What I noticed also, Father, kasi I distinctly remember when I was a child, may pinuntahan kami parang expo ng Marian images.
Mhm.
Tapos, para siyang exhibit na when you walk around, you'll see different... It
Stages.
was, I
Parang
remember
Stages.
sobrang... hindi, parang set up siya na parang museum type
Okay.
Yeah.
of the different images of Mother Mary. And sobrang interesting niya sa akin kasi parang ako nag-around the world.
Kasi
Like,
iba-iba
when I
yung-
go to Our Lady of Guadalupe,
Correct,
Iba.
yeah,
there's a different image.
yes.
I remember there's Our Lady of Akita in
Yes,
Japan.
yes,
Very
yes.
distinct. Sobrang tumatak siya kasi, uy, may Mother Mary image pala na
kahit
Japanese.
saan
Japanese,
talaga.
So parang ang na-notice ko rin, parang sa different images, different of course yung
Cultures.
representation ni Mother
Yes,
Mary.
yes, yes.
It's into something that's very relatable to the people. So parang,
It's like if you have a statue in India,
mhm.
it's also presented in like an Indian costume. Nakasari siya.
Oh.
Ganda, di ba?
Galing kasi may cultural aspect
Yes,
din,
yes,
no?
yes, yes.
Parang it needs to be relevant to the
Correct, yeah.
surroundings.
And people would identify themselves with her.
Mhm.
So especially in terms of their, how they use the dress for women. Yeah.
Mother Mary knows us also
Yes.
as children.
Balikan ko, Father, you mentioned kanina yung magazine, no?
Yes,
That's parang there was also a saying there na most powerful
Mm-mm.
woman in the world. No? I think it's kind of relevant today and to our FRC fam out there that's watching
Yes,
that.
yes.
I think yung naging first thought ko dito is women empowerment.
Yes,
Kasi,
yes, yes.
diba, it's really important nowadays to see that woman, like in media, being represented in
Yes,
the
yes,
right way, being strong, and all of those things. So, I think, Father, as a Marian priest, I want to get your perspective. Like, what's your take on that? Like,
Okay.
How-
Looking at our Blessed Mother, imagine a woman having a very special role in the work of redemption. That means that even in the mind of God, a woman has a very unique participation. We cannot talk about equality in terms of gender, no?
yeah.
Because each one has its own uniqueness, no? But when you look at the role of our Blessed Mother as a woman, you can imagine how God Himself, put importance, on a woman. This is, I think, how I would like to see the empowerment of women, how we empower them, and they really have a very important role to take. Things that I think men cannot do, women can do.
Yes. I think a lot of things.
Yes.
Alam niyo na yan. And I think
Yeah.
it's very nice, Father, no, that even through priests
Yeah.
and our religion, and of course through Mama Mary, we're able to see that image of a woman.
Yes,
Kasi it's
yes.
often overlooked, I
Yes.
think. So it's very nice. Thank you for sharing that to us, no? And to our FRC fam out there. Women! Yes.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
Father, for that input. Yeah. Actually, Father, ba't nga ba ganun? Parang lahat ng images ni Mother Mary, pag nagpapakita siya, kunyari, for example, dun sa Our Lady of Fatima, when she showed herself to the three children, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang, there was a talk about a promise of peace for the people if they pray, if they present themselves and consecrate themselves. Parang there's always, parang may ina-address siya palaging suffering
Problem, no?
sa mundo.
Yes,
Tama
yes.
ba? Parang
Right,
ganun
right,
yung
right.
pagpapakita ni Mother Mary. What do you think is the relevance of that? Kung bakit, as you mentioned, like, God using Mother Mary as a means to communicate some sort of message to us in this world.
Well, I think, as she also mentioned here, because our Lord has been appearing many times also, you see. You remember she appeared to Saint Margaret Alacoque, as in the devotion to the Sacred Heart, She personally was appealing to the world, to return, because, the world seems to be moving away from God, And this is also what's happening in our world now. The world is going too far already. And so God continues to win the world to Him. Okay? So it looks like, as Our Lady said here, this time it's the Lord sending His own mother to win back the people. And she said that this is the last, this is the last call of God that He's asking this time using our Blessed Mother. You notice, if you're familiar with that, with all apparitions, all apparition sites are in the mountain.
Mm.
You'll be surprised. No? They're all in the mountains. No? And you know what mountain is. No? In the Bible, the mountain is a place of God. It's a symbol of God. No? Okay. Number two, he appears also to children most of the time. So these are also these are the most insignificant people. No one would really believe in them, but precisely that's the invitation of the revelation. The invitation of the apparition is to believe because God is talking to these people. And thirdly, why is God speaking to our Blessed Mother? Because God wants the world to be saved. So He doesn't want that sacrifice of the cross to become meaningless. No? To make it useful, He wants to save the world. I mean, that's why He keeps on calling us. When you read this book, the first time I read this, my God, I am so turned off.
Talaga, Father.
Yes, I have some because it will really confront you, and you know how defensive we are.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible, you want to hear it because he's speaking about the truth. It's like your mother, no? My mother used to tell me a lot of things, and I want to close my eyes. I was
So
not
yun
to,
yung
I don't know what
tone.
to
Ito
hear.
pala yun. May
But the
dumidiretso.
truth.
Real talk, real talk.
Yun
Kung
yung
kailangan
totoo.
nyo ng real
Yun
talk,
yan.
Yes, yun
yan
naman,
yung book
yeah.
na kailangan.
But
Uh-huh.
that's why I told you, no. There must be something in this book that once you open it, you won't stop leaving it. You have to read it every day.
So yung mga walang ginagawa dyan,
Baka naman.
I think it's about time to start.
Yeah.
Oh, pero alam mo, Chay, yung nakuha ko talaga is, iba talaga pag ang message nanggagaling sa mother. I feel
Iba
like
yung level.
Yes.
Yung what you were saying, Father, about God using Mother Mary to speak to the world. Parang there's this sense of urgency. Parang pumasok na
You're
comparison
right.
sa utak ko is, yung pag may, kunyari, pag may kuya sa kapatid niya,
Yes.
ito, mag-aral ka na nga or something, or tama na laro, ganyan.
Yeah.
Ayaw makinig sa'yo. Sige,
Yes,
tatawagan mo
yes.
na yung iba mo. Ma, si
Merong yun. Let
Yes,
them
yes,
may
yes.
sense of urgency lalo.
Correct.
So,
That's true.
ayun, nakaka-inspire. Or parang, nga, no, like this is God speaking to us through our mother. And it's such a, parang nakumpel ako bigla din. Natakot ako sa mga sinabi ni Father na nandyan sa
kayang
book.
laman?
Pero it really
very
made me
interesting.
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even written nga Our Lady's Beloved Sons, diba?
Yeah.
To the priest, Our Lady's Beloved Sons. So,
It's to the priest because he was talking to Father Gobi, no? But it's a message that is directed to all. You will while you read this book, you will understand more what's happening in our times. That these are not just happening by accident. No? These are really within the plan of God also.
Father, you mentioned kanina that there are questions na nagka-come into play kapag nagbabasa ka ng
Yes,
book,
yes,
right?
yes,
Of course, like through Mama Mary, ganyan. But I would want to know, this sinabi niyo rin na it would be answered in some other way.
Yes.
Like, is there something specific that happened to you, very
okay.
personal?
No, for example, no, one of the things I ask you is why is the book presents Mary with some kind of absoluteness. Parang he's not God, no? But how this book is how presented Mary as someone over and above a human being. He's a human person. No? So I just realized that, because Mary is a very special human being to our Blessed Mother. Imagine being Immaculate Conceived, being the mother of the Lord. Those things, I just realized that we treat her still as a human being like us, no? But in a very special attributes. Number two, one of the things I also see is we always treat our Blessed Mother as always related to the work of our Lord, no? in salvation. One thing that I also learned here in this book is, the most difficult part in the Bible is the book of Revelation. They call it the Apocalypse, no? Because they speak about the last times, no? The end of times, no? This is about that. also.
Oh.
So when you read this, you have it's like he's explaining to us what the book of Revelation is, no? Which is full of symbolism. And here he talks about realities, no?
Yeah.
Real things happening in the world. Yun pala yung nangyayari sa book of Revelation.
Yes, Father. So, we want to know lang, no, parang, is there a relevance of devotion to Mary nowadays? Of course, for the younger generations who wouldn't really understand it. Baka you're able to
How would you
enlighten all of us.
enlighten and encourage?
Okay. Well, siguro like me, I find the image of a mother, no, so important to my priesthood. Of course, I have my own mother, no? But looking at Mary as a super mother, no?
Wow.
Attending to me, sabi ko, wow, parang how I wish young people also may discover, aside from their mother, there is a super mother to whom they can really relate, no? And a super mother who can immediately attend to their needs, no? Parang, kasi kung minsan, parang we're looking for, you know naman yung mga young people now, no? Parang they want instant thing, okay? They want easy answer. They want easy solution, no? They want to respond right away, no? If there is a person who can do that, I think it's the Blessed Mother. You know why? Because she is a woman who can anticipate things, even if it is not yet time. You remember the wedding of Cana?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you imagine that, no? Even it's not yet time, she can just do it, okay? We have no, you know, Jesus said, it's not our concern. Okay? Number 2, it's not yet my time. Ganun sige. You know, she called the servant, di ba? Get the jar, fill the water, and then give it to him. That's it.
Yes.
Wala kang gagawin, bigyan mo sa kanya. Can you imagine what our Blessed Mother can do? Doing something that can really, we can easily expect right away, hindi ibigay pala. And of course, it's not her making, no? She's just the instrument. It's the son who will do that for her. But we need her, I think, no? For young people, I think they should discover. Masyado kayong fascinated so many influencers, diba? For me, one very powerful influencer is Mama Mary.
Yes. So please follow Mother Mary.
Please follow Supermother.
At Supermother on Instagram. And
Yes.
Pero yes,
Supermother
sobrang
knows
totoo.
best.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
yes.
true.
And I think through this episode, na Father, and of course through you and in your eyes, we're able to enlighten everyone of that value of our mothers. And of course, si Supermother nga, diba? Parang you're making it more relatable and reachable for everyone to understand Mary. So, thank you very much, Father. Thank you for making the time
Maraming salamat.
and sharing your experience with us. Grabe
Oo.
rap. FRC fam out there, if you have comments and also, of course, your thoughts about this episode, please comment them down below.
I'm sure marami-rami yan, ano?
Baka may questions kayo for Father. Just comment down below.
Please don't forget to like and share
Yes.
this episode, and of course subscribe to our social media channels for more information about our faith. Not just information, actually. Conversations,
Yes.
you know, mga kwentuhan, chikahan.
Inspiration.
Yes, inspiration that will help us encourage more
Mhm.
in terms of prayer and our family life.
Yes. So, again, to our FRC fam out there, thank you. Thank you for catching our episode again. Thank you, Father. And catch us again next episode. Again, this is Chai.
And Rap, who leave you with the wise words of Venerable Patrick Peyton, that
The family that prays together stays together.
and a world that prayer is a world that peace.
Bye, FRC fam.